Africa.
Hey YouTube, welcome to the backstory. It's about 8:30 p.m. I just woke up from a nap. I stayed at the hospital today from like about 10 to 5. As soon as I woke up, he was texting me, talking about they text me a picture of him eating Jell-O, which he knows I don't agree with. And he's eating this Jell-O. Jell-O is not a food. Jell-O is not a nutritious food. So you're endangering your health to eat Jell-O, is what I told him. You know, I have had so many surgeries, and when I know how hard it is to not eat. One time I couldn't eat anything. I had to sleeve back in 2012, and I couldn't eat anything for like back then when I got it. You could only have clear liquids for like 2 weeks, like clear liquids and then cloudy liquids and then solid liquids. It was like almost a month. And one time I went to Sam's. I wanted something so bad. I was having an emotional breakdown. And I wasn't even in the hospital on the IV. And I went to Sam's and we got a big bag of Doritos, nacho cheese Doritos. And I sucked all the cheese off the Doritos of the whole bag and then put the chip to the side and actually, I actually had burnt my tongue with Dorito dust because I was freaked out, that I couldn't eat anything. But guess what? They told me you're going to bust your staples and be in the hospital, or you could harm yourself, have a setback, or kill yourself if you eat any food. So guess what I did? I did not eat. It wasn't easy, nor was it easy, but I thought about my health and I was like, I don't want to end up back in the hospital. I don't want to have complications. He's strong physically. However, I try to explain to him, your insides are raw. They've stapled a third of your pancreas back together. They took 2/3 of it. They took another organ. They took the spleen. They were scraping on your stomach. They scraped something off your liver that luckily wasn't cancer after they did the pathology. And they stapled the rest of your spleen, the rest of your pancreas back together. They stapled together. They had to cut and they stapled together 2 veins and an artery. And today is the 6th. That was on the 3rd. So you rushing to eat, you're trying to run a marathon, because his body was very strong, and so just because you're able to walk a whole lot and, walk rings around everybody else, that does not necessarily mean that that's what you're supposed to do. They want you up walking to keep, from blood clots and your blood flowing, but that doesn't mean that you have to run a marathon. And I told him also you can lay in the bed and every time you think about it, bend your knees and just turn your feet in circles, alternating, and keep your blood moving that way. But all that, bending and moving and, got to get out the bed and your insides is moving and those staples are moving. And the doctor explained how thin the pancreas is and how hard it is, to sew it and staple it. And he had reinforced it with some sewing, and that's going to take time to scar enough to start sticking back together. And I don't think it does it in 3 days. So he had a setback because he walked way too much and he was very proud. And I'm trying to explain to him, listen, this is not a race. This is not a race. This is not a game, and he knows the type of person that I am. He knows that I've read about it. He knows, and I'm not a doctor, and that's not what I'm saying. But in today's society, if you are not proactive about your health, unfortunately, in the United States, a lot of these doctors, they're just going to give you pills, what the pharmaceutical company says. They don't necessarily teach them preventative care. You have to be proactive, which is why I read up on, the best things to do the new information. Then with insurance and stuff, even with the VA, with the Veterans Hospital, it's so much red tape to approve the newer therapies and everything. They're behind. They do the older therapies, the older things. Some things that are still standard, but then a lot has come out now about how nutrition and these chemicals plays a large role in cancer. So 99%, 98% of the time, I am conscious about what I put in my body, and Jello is not a food. Dye is not a food. Red number 40, blue number 20, green number 10, however the numbers go. Dye is not a food. That's nothing nutritious that you're putting in your body. So you are endangering your health to have a cup of Jello. I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, it's upsetting me, and I don't want to let myself get upset, so I leave the hospital, me and the doctor and him, we got everything. Okay, let's leave this tube in. Let's not give you anything by mouth. Let's give you a medication. Let's stop this water and let's get the scan done. Then we'll reassess in the morning. So I come home, it takes me an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to drive home through the traffic. I come home, eat a little something I could, lay down. I'm waking up to him with a big smile with the Jello. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to make me happy. I'm like, and I've asked him like 10 or 15 times, why did they take the tube out? Why did they take the tube out? He won't answer. And he wanted the tube out and he wanted to eat something. This is why they took the tube out. Because he could have told the nurse, call my wife. The doctor said, don't take it out until after I get this CAT scan. I don't want y'all to take it out. Please call my wife, and I could have tried to help him to handle the situation if they were doing something against his will. However, he's smiling, holding a Jello, drinking. And drinking water, probably eating ice. So now he's back belching and hiccuping violently, which hurts him because of the staples and everything in his stomach, and he jumps. He's doing it so hard. So he was on the phone with his daughter, one of his daughters, and I guess she got upset trying to figure out, well, hey, Dad, what's going on, which I know is very upsetting. His daughters are sweethearts. They're young adults, they're sweethearts. And, so then he's texting me after he got from her, can you call her and tell her what's going on, because she's so upset because of how I'm belching and I can't. No, and I just told him no, and to be quite frank with you, his daughters, they know my number. They could call me whenever they want to, and I'm going to talk to them. He's want me to call her. I don't think she's want me to call her. They have my number. I just got arrested. Some things happened, and then I kept asking him over and over again, why is the tube out? Why are you eating Jello? Why are you drinking water? You see what I'm saying? These are the reasons why you're hiccuping violently, you know what I'm saying, and upset, you know what I mean? So, and he will not answer. He won't answer on the text. He will not answer me. I've texted to him 10 times. So when you don't participate in your own health, especially when you have somebody that's handling it, researching and helping you and explaining things to you, and you're just throwing that to the wayside, I'm not going to sit up and feel sorry for you and drag myself down. And then, this is my relaxing time. I was there from 10 to 4, 10 to 5 today. I left at 8:30 this morning. There's nothing I can do. There's one thing I wanted to touch on. I listened to her Wake Up Africa. I think her name's Dr. Mumbi. I really like her channel. And she was talking today about different jobs that we have, and like our standard career isn't anymore what Babylon or regular society necessarily for everybody. Our standard career isn't something that we think we're supposed to do, clocking in and out, and you can find other ways to get income and still work, which is how I've always lived my life anyway, because I always had to figure out how to stay at home and take care of my kids and still bring them income however I had to. And so I thought about that. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I should go ahead and apply for some type of home health care, like check or something like that. So I'm going to start looking into that. But as I was, for the work that I do, because like I said, I go over there in the morning, take care of him. Basically, that's all I'll be doing when he get out, when we're at home. I'll just be taking care of him, and then add my dad to that. And which is fine, I know how to take care of people very well, and I do take care of people very well, and I do the best that I can. So I need to be trying to figure out how to get compensated for that, I guess. But while I was sitting in the car in traffic and listening to her, and she was talking about the ancestors, and I got to thinking to myself, we are the ancestors, because you're steady saying that, the ancestors come back. You need to make sure you get things together, because when you get things together in this life, the ancestors come back, and they need a support system. And this is why you don't turn down legacy. You don't turn down your money and da 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 da. Because even though we can't remember when we come back, so that means that we are our ancestors, basically. I'm in the physical world. Home is where the heart is. And so where my heart is, and then all these dreams I'm having, when I go back in life and when I go forward in life, if I'm on that scale going back and forth, that means that we are the ancestors. That's what dawned on me in the car today. Like, we are our ancestors. And so then, and I had done it briefly before I had started doing that. Like, I was briefly before, when I was talking about karma and forgiveness and forgiving yourself or whatever, and I thought to myself, like, when I had these dreams, like, sometimes, in some of my dreams, I might be having some small issues or something might happen, and I still can't figure out, like, what does it mean in life, whatever. But I came to the realization today that, okay, maybe you should meditate to help that person on this other dimension, which is still you, and comfort them, giving them encouraging words. Wow, just got chills. Y'all know what that means. That means that, you on the, it means you're on the right path, and so when I have these dreams now about myself, like, if myself, like, she was moving or trying to build something, I can't remember, right now. But what I did was I spoke to her and encouraged her and gave her encouraging words. And that's what helped me, because when I was putting my hands, over my body, talking to my body to heal my body, I was talking to my body, like, hey, let's get it together. Let's not get stressed out and anxiety. You're protected. You're protected, and your energy's protected. And a lot of times I have to tell myself, when I go into certain situations, I don't have any energy for you to cipher off of today. And so I block that. I'm mindful to say that. These days, it's not about rituals. It's mind. It's mind. It's mind power, and it's the things that you say. It's the way that you move your hands over your body, and put that energy back, or take that energy out. It's almost like on what's that new movie, Avatar, when the lady was blowing on the body and releasing and blowing that sickness and stuff off of her. I truly believe that's what we are capable of. When we're in the right mind state and when we're, meditative. And everybody, I think it's going to go back. I think it's going back to where, because I know I'm not the only one that's having these revelations, but I think it's going to go back that way for everybody, people that, slowly but surely it's going back that way. But I just had a revelation in the car, like, we are our ancestors. If we're coming back to this life, and if I'm dreaming about forward lives or other lives or past lives, or if they're concurrent lives, which I haven't figured that out yet, but that means we are our ancestors. And so we need to be comforting ourselves. And when I have dreams, and when a part of me in another dimension, forward, backward, or whatever, is having an issue, since home is where the heart is, I need to be comforting and saying comforting words, and taking my time meditating and saying those comforting words in my mind, whether I say it in my mind or with my mouth or write it down. But I need to be putting that out there, those comforting words for my other selves, because we are our ancestors, is what I figured out today. We are our ancestors. Yeah. So it may sound weird or whatever, but that's a revelation. I came in today sitting in traffic. So when I woke up today, I just wasn't having that. A sister was texting me, well, call the nurses and see why, and I'm like, cause I text her, cause she was like, oh, I just left. And I was like, do you know why they took the nose drain out? Because he won't tell me. She's like, I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, call the nurse. No. I'm not going to do that tonight. No, I'm going to, and then today's color when I woke up was purple. It was purple, and my purple self, they actually was having some kind of party or something, and actually it made me be in a better mood. I'm like, at least a part of me is having a good time. And it made me be like in a better mood when I woke up. And then here you come with all this negative energy. Well, you can't call her. Why you can't call her? Call her and explain it. No. First of all, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know why you took the tube out. You won't even tell me why you let them take the tube out. No, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing that right now. I'm going to have a party by myself, a cleanup party. That's what's going to make me feel good, is getting some of this stuff up off these counters and off these floors and put away so that I can mop these floors and clean these floors. So yeah, I'm going to have a cleanup party. I'm not going to focus on that tonight. I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry for it. No, I don't give you permission to use my energy up for that tonight. One of my selves is having a party, having fun, and I've received that energy, and I woke up in a good mood. And so, I'm going to use that good energy and pick all this stuff up. So here comes my son. So
she came onto the country shores
as if she were a 100-year storm. Most would heed the warning in time. Take shelter before even catching the enticing smell of the beautiful coming rain. A few godlike men, yet untamed by Mother Nature, would embrace the strong, somehow comforting change of winds. Allow themselves to take up the treasures revealed, left behind her impassioned path. Knowing her omnipresence is in the same nature of themselves, which called unto the storm.